Hi, my name's Trudy McDonald. I'm the Managing Director of TalentCode HR. In this video, I wanted to share with you some really practical tips around how to make sure you and your team can successfully execute on your strategy for FY23. There's three key elements that I recommend you take into consideration as you start to get your team set up for strategy implementation. The first is make sure everybody is aligned around your key strategic priorities. The mistake that many organizations fall into is trying to take on too much. So the principle that the main thing is to keep the main thing, or less is more, is really powerful. That's number one. Number two is to chunk it down. So once you've identified what you want to implement in FY23, it's important to break that down into clear, measurable milestones. Specifically, for each of your strategic priorities, you may want to identify a number of focus areas. And then for each of those focus areas, make sure you can clearly articulate the measures of success for the 12-month period. From there, it's powerful to break that down into quarterly milestones and quarterly measures of success. What this does is it can take what can sometimes feel like an overwhelming task and chunk it down into bite-sized pieces, which not only provides a framework for celebrating progress, but it makes it much more achievable. The final tip is to make sure that you remain nimble and agile. So part of bringing the team together to make sure that you're all accountable for delivering on these handful of key strategic milestones is to make sure every 90 days you're asking yourself the most critical question, which is, what do we know now that we didn't know 90 days ago? And how does this have an impact on what we need to focus on for the next 90 days? Even though you've mapped out at the start of the year your 12-month priorities and what those quarterly milestones are going to look like, inevitably things are going to change throughout the year. So it's critical that you remain agile, taking on board new opportunities that may become a priority and putting the time into managing any risks that arise. If you and your team would like a hand setting up your strategy for successful implementation and embedding the high performance habits that will set you up for success, don't hesitate to reach out. We would be delighted to have a chat with you.